Lesson 4, keys. Now this is where it gets interesting because we start combining the scales with the chords. Now, as always, check the description. I'm going to write everything out in written form so it's easier to follow, and feel free to leave any comments or questions. So again, let's start with the C major scale. Starting on C, up and down, using the normal major intervals, playing all the white notes in this case. So tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So if I were to start on the C and play a chord which goes up in thirds, using only the notes in the C scale, C major scale, I would hit C, E, G, which is C major. If I do the same now from the next note, so starting on the D, playing a chord going up in thirds, using only the notes in the C major scale, I would get D minor, D, F, A. Then again, starting on E, going up, playing a chord, only the notes in the C major scale, gives you E minor. Again with F, gives you F major. Again, G, gives you G major. A, gives you A minor. And B, gives you B diminished. And then back to C. So the pattern is, for a major chord, a major scale, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Now that's transposable anyway. Again, for example, for the G, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. So that pattern is transposable to any key on the piano or any instrument, whatever instrument you're playing. So all of those chords are in the key of C, because they only use the notes within the C major scale. So if you see any of those chords following one another, and usually resolving to a C, but not necessarily, they're all in the key of C, which means you can use a C major scale to improvise or play a melody over the top. So a really common one, for example, is a 2-5-1. A D minor, G major, C major. So again, if I just play whatever the C major scale with my right hand over those chords, it sounds alright. So literally any of the chords within that formation, the major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, that obviously hit all the notes within the scale, and that indicates the scale that you need to play. So again, if I just played, say, D, G, A, F, D minor, G major, A minor, F major, C. All of that was in the key of C major because all of those chords were in the key of C major. So I can just improvise or play a melody with my right hand in the key of C. So that should indicate to you that chords are relative. Essentially, if I just tell you that I'm playing a D minor chord, without any other reference or indication, you don't really know what key that's in. Like your first instinct might be to say, well, you're playing D minor, you should be in the key of D minor. But if that D minor chord were followed by a G major and then a C major, then in fact you were in the key of C the whole time. So really you need to look at the whole chord progression excuse me, you need to look at a whole chord progression within a song to know what key you're in. And usually songs finish on the tonic, so I finished on the C, therefore everything else was in the C, therefore you should be using the C to improvise. You can also add the seventh on top. So for example, C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G dominant 7, A minor 7, B half diminished 7, and C again. So the two chords that are interesting there is the fifth chord of any scale in a major key is a dominant 7, which means the major third with the minor 7th. And that sort of begs to follow to be followed by a C. It sort of sounds complete. It's called a perfect cadence. And the other interesting chord is the B half diminished. So it's half diminished because it goes minor third, major third. So you're playing the B, D, F, A. A full diminished would be the A flat. So B, D, F, A flat. So minor third, minor third intervals. But the A flat obviously isn't in the key of C, so you wouldn't play it, you play the half diminished. And so that's how you can tell, or that's how you work out whether a certain song is in the key of C major or a major chord. You can do the same with minors, like for example, if we look at A minor, if we look at a melodic minor, so that's the natural G, we have a minor, diminished, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. And again, you can add the sevenths. Minor 7, half diminished, C major 7, minor 7, minor 7, major 7, 7, minor 7. And again, that pattern is transposable. So if you take the minor diminished, major, minor, minor, and shift it to any other key, you'll get the minor chord progression. With a harmonic minor, it goes C, so we've got the G sharp now, A minor, B diminished, C augmented, D minor, E major, F major, G sharp diminished, A minor. So if you see any of those chords, it's in the key of A harmonic minor. And again, you can add the sevenths. Sorry, the G sharp. So that'll be A minor, major 7. B half diminished. A C augmented. Again, there's no sevenths for that. D minor 7. E dominant 7, which is interesting. And sounds great over a leading to a minor chord. And then the F major 7, and G sharp full diminished. So whereas the B was a half diminished, the G sharp is a full diminished, which means minor third, minor third, minor third. So again, and that's all of those chords are in the key of a, say, harmonic minor in this case. So if you see something like you could play A minor over it, or A harmonic minor, more accurately. Once you get sort of a bit more comfortable with it, you can swap between melodic and harmonic minors more easily, and sort of play around with different sounds within that. But essentially that's how you can tell what key you're in. You look at a chord, you get a new piece of music, you look at the chord progression, you figure out whether given the structure of the chords, what chords follow what key they're in, and then you can pick that key and play over it. Cool. I hope that made sense. Feel free to ask any questions. Apologies if I rambled a bit.